Now, what is your job?
My job then was to keep the passengers calm, sit them down, because...
your safe haven is a specific area of the ship?
It's a specific area, yeah. It was a corridor that ran along the inside of the ship.
Right. Everybody would have a different area like that? And then your job is to do what? Keep them in their cabins?
Yeah, no, bring them all to the safe haven and to keep them calm, to lie them down, to get them drinks of water, to pass on any information that we may know, and just to stop them wandering around, basically, and taking pictures. Which quite often...
So you didn't see any pirates at all?
Well, myself and my cabin mate had to go and get water for the passengers, so we were doing like a commando thing under the windows on our hands and knees, trying to get to the... But I thought it was very funny, but it's not funny, but it is now in hindsight. At the time, it was quite serious, because what had happened was the captain had seen 4 smaller boats circling the ship, so he had to make manoeuvres to outrun them. And the ship I was on had great speed and great height. But for a few hours we were being chased by these.
So they never got on board, but they were trying to?
They were trying to, and there were reports of certain sounds which could have been gunfire or other noises. That was only alleged by passengers, and quite often they want to...
exaggerate.
Yeah, exaggerate.
The story will have been enormous by the time.
To get a bit of compensation, or, I don't want to have an outside cabin anymore, I want to move inside, that kind of thing. I'm sure we all know them. So, yeah, we had to do that kind of thing. Got down... got them. I was doing palmistry, because I know a bit of palmistry. I was, talking to the pensioners about the war and singing "Long Way to Tipperary" and that kind of thing. Proper little gang show we had.
So you, basically, it's keep people calm.
Keep people calm, yeah.
Had pirates got on board, did you have instructions on what you would do at that point?
Yes, but I'm not going to tell you what they are.
Right, fair enough. But I understand. But basically, if people are going to go on cruises and they're worried about it at all, the staff do know what to do.
Yeah, there is all procedures and how it's dealt. There's an international way of dealing with things that the pirates understand and know, and generally they just want their money, or
Yes.
But they won't get onto cruise ships. They like to chase them and get the report of it so that people know that they're around. But there's no...
It's a PR exercise.
I think it's a PR, yeah. The Somalians aren't as stupid as they may seem. The pirates, they're very clever, yeah. I mean, we had our guys with big oil drums full of oil just to throw at the boats, and because we had no weapons on board, and the fire hoses that we would have used if they got any closer. But thankfully, we did outrun. It was brace, and we had to hold on to the walls, and the ship did some serious manoeuvres to outrun the pirates.
This is the Olsen ship, isn't it? And they're fast, are they? They can go very fast.
Very fast and very high. And the captain was brilliant, and everyone was very calm, and we all did our job. It was just more sad for the ladies, because it happened just before dinner, so they're all sat in their towels with their rollers in, and they really want to be in their ball gowns and evening wear. So,
There are some people I've heard, I'm sure it's true, some guys that they take on board ships, generally older people, to dance with the single ladies.
Oh, yes.
It's a special job, isn't it?
It certainly is. One I may be doing myself in a few years' time, I don't know, but...
It sounds extraordinary.
Dance hosts. Yeah.
Is that what they call dance hosts?
Dance hosts.
Is that because you do get a lot of single widows, presumably, single ladies?
Yeah, and a lot of people who do have the husbands, and the husbands can't actually move, so they might enjoy a dance, so they can get up with the dance hosts. We have female dance hosts as well.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's hilarious watching them. They do get about, those dance hosts. There's been times when I've been upstairs in the late lounge, and every night the dance host who's of a certain age, so we had one who was 79, I think he was. And
really?
Yeah, he'd have a different lady in his arm every night. So ladies, if you're going on a cruise, be careful, don't believe what they say.
Do you eat with the passengers or separately?
Yeah, you can do. You can choose to. It depends on your itinerary and what you're doing that day. But if you've got a show, you don't want to spend time getting dressed and going to eat in the restaurant. But if you've got a nice, easy night, then you go and sit in one of the restaurants. But
if you want, how do you eat? If you want to...
We eat in the crew mess.
There is a crew mess?
There's a crew mess, a staff mess, officers mess, and we go to the officers mess.
And from my little memory, I've never been on a cruise, but I've been on cruise ships that have come in, like, the Princess and things like that. They seem to be serving food all day.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we're not 24 hours on... Well, they weren't on there when I was on there, but we had an hour break in between dinners.
Yeah.
We'd have breakfast, then an hour break, then it'd be 11, then an hour break, then it'd be lunch, then an hour break, and the evening tea, then an hour break, and then evening... it was non-stop food.
And do you all keep together as the entertainers? Or do you actually mix up and you get to know the...
Oh, you've got to mix up. When you're working with somebody for nearly a year and there's only 10 of you on board, you've got to mix up. I mean, I like mixing with the passengers, because I found the older ones had better things to say than the younger ones who hadn't lived their life yet but thought they knew it all. So yeah, I love mixed.
And they recognise you from the job that you're doing, and therefore are happy to talk to you. And so forth.
Yeah. I mean, there's times when it's been hilarious when we're at the beach and you've got passengers hiding behind rocks taking pictures because it may be me and a young female dancer, and they, what are they up to? Let's take pictures. As if it's the paparazzi. I'm like, I'm not David and Victoria here. It's just me and one of the young dancers trying to get a break.
Most cruises seem to have gambling as their main earner. Are you tempted to gamble when?
No, I never have. Well, we're not allowed on board anyway.
You're not allowed to gamble at all?
No. We can sit with the passengers and encourage them to, but we're not allowed to ourselves.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what that is. I suppose, of course, all kinds of problems if you
If I won enough, I'd get off and not get on, wouldn't I? That doesn't make me run for it. There'd be a singer, dancer down, it'd be there.
You thought about organising your own company to do this kind of work?
Yeah, I have. And funny, because a friend of me said that yesterday, actually, I should get my own company.
Well, you built up a lot of experience, obviously, about how it works and what to do.
Yeah. I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but there's lots of things I have ideas to do, but I kind of take each day as it comes. And if somebody else tells me again I should do it, that I can do it, then I will. I mean, I've had my own theatre company twice in the past in Liverpool, and we did some successful productions at the Unity. And so I kind of got experience in production and that kind of thing, and maybe I'll do that again.
I mean, it's really interesting because you're actually a classic Liverpudlian, more classic than most Liverpudlians nowadays. Because if you came from Liverpool, the sea was what you did. That was the job. I mean, okay, people did other jobs, but the sea was what everybody did. That, of course, has died out quite a lot. Yeah. But with you, it's not. You're a Liverpudlian who's there, is a mariner.
It's really funny because my favourite film was always the Poseidon Adventure when I was younger. So I always, which is, a bit mad and strange that I'd want to watch that and work on cruise ships. But I was always interested in the Titanic since I was very young. I've always had books and magazine cuttings on the Titanic. So I've always had this kind of link to the sea and to tragedies at sea for some strange reason. So when the cruise thing came up, I was really excited to live at sea. And I am a water sign as well, so maybe I'm attached to the water and I can see it from my flat. So,
What was your dad at? Did he go to sea?
No, he worked at Ford's. So he was a car man. Can't drive, but he made them.
And did your mum work or not?
My mum did work. She was just working at Littlewoods. So, normal jobbing parents, factory workers, that kind of thing.
And have you got brothers and sisters?
I've got one older sister who's a holistic therapist.
A holistic therapist, completely different from what you're doing.
Yeah, we're not the normal kind of family, my sister and I. We've done our own
But
thing.
despite the fact you're travelling away quite a lot, you still keep together as a family.
Pretty much, yeah. We try our best to. There are, like every family, there are times when you're not so close, and other times when you are. I mean, it kind of suits me. I see them as much as I can, as enough as I can while I'm working away.
What's interesting as well to me is that because of the job you do, you know Liverpool really well, but you're away for maybe a year, 9 months, 8 months. And in this past 6 years, there's been enormous changes going on. Now, you must see them in a different way from the way we see them living here.
Yeah, I come back as a tourist, really. I do. I come back and what's there, and I get excited. When I come back to Liverpool through Lime Street, I'm excited. I was more excited to see the new gateway out Lime Street. It's beautiful. I was like, oh, that's big telly.
They got rid of that stupid
building. But I missed the spider thing when that was here. My dad sent me clippings and stuff like that. He used to always, record the BBC North West Tonight programme and send me that on video, which I could never watch because there's no videos on board, but at least he tried, He sent me snippets, and because tourism is something I'm very interested in Liverpool, and if I wasn't going to be a performer, I'd like a job in tourism. Tour guiding,
It's got to be the future anyhow, I think. And there's a very good company that you'll probably know, maybe you even work for them, Shiverpool.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Who do fantastic work. I mean, they're all good entertainers who do other work as well. Yeah. But they're really, I think they do a fantastic job for Liverpool.
Yeah, I know quite a lot of people who work for them as well. And of course, I knew all the Tom Slemon books. I've had them from number one way back in the day. And I know all the stories. So when I have visitors come to Liverpool, I'm forever, and that's haunted by him, and that's haunted by him. But I'd also like, because I'm very interested in architecture as well, so I'd like to do an architecture tour, because there's so many beautiful buildings in Liverpool, but it's not a specific architecture tour.
No, you're right, I think, and you're also right, this is the best city in the country to do architecture. It's amazing, the architecture here.
Yeah, I say to my Liverpool friends, just walk down Church Street and look up. Yeah. Don't look at the pavement, or the Orange Girls. Look up and look at the beautiful buildings.
The Orange Girls. This is extraordinary.
You come back and you get excited to see them, and you hear the accents, and you hear them effing and blind, and it's so good to be home,
But some of them, presumably, maybe not that young, but some Scousers must be coming on some of the trips.
Yeah, Yeah, and they hang around with me and we have a bevy together and the accent comes out like, you know what I mean? And then I'm trying to be posh with the old dears from the south, and then I'm being a scally with the, you know, the Scousers.
You're having a really good life, it seems to me, and you seem to be able to pick and choose. And the next big thing is the rerun of the play, I suppose.
Hopefully, yeah.
And then the September...
Yeah, I'm going on just the September Blues Brothers tribute band. I'll do my own thing.
But you don't know what you'll be doing at Christmas?
No. So Panto producers, I'm here. You can get in touch with me on... I'll give you my email address now.
We need it for two reasons. One is you need for a director.
Yes. And other ideas as well, because I was considering directing it myself and getting another actor in. And until I get the rewriting from Steve, the writer, then I'm kind of deciding what I want to do. And of course, if this band thing takes off with the ship, then that might come up and give me, you know, less availability.
Are you putting the band together yourself?
No, it's a band that's already together. I think the Chester-based. I've only just found out the details this morning, and I've got to do a call to them after I've finished here.
Right, okay.
To find out more. But I know it's doing Norway and Sweden, that kind of place in September.
So, in a year from now, we're going to have a completely different story from you.
No idea.
But that's part of what you like.
Yeah, but I'd like a wage as well. That would be good to have a wage.
But surely, if you're doing the cruises, you can save the money, and that covers you for the...
Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you? But then you come back, and the bills have piled up that you haven't paid while you've been away for the 6 months. So you've got to pay all them, and then you go back to square one.
It's a bit like actors I know who do the odd telly now and again, or the odd advert, and it's great.
Oh, it's great, yeah.
Save tons of money, and then they're not working for the next 6 months.
And it's got to last you forever, and it can't, because you've got to, you know, you get excited and you buy your mates all a drink, and, you know, it's good that a lot of my friends are performers, so we've all been in the same situation, where they're working and I'm not, or vice versa, so I've always got a pint if I need one, or, you know, something to eat.
Apart from the youth theatre, have you worked at the Everyman or the Playhouse?
No, not really, no.
You worked at Unity obviously quite a lot.
At the Playhouse, when it was a studio, I did lots of things in there. But
what, Leslie Lawton was... No, you weren't.
No, it wasn't. It was through the Everyman, but it was up at the Playhouse studio.
That one upstairs, yes.
Yeah. And that's gone now, which is sad.
Yes, it might come back. It's rehearsal room at the moment. Once the rebound, well, it is going to happen. The rebound, there's the money issues. Then the rehearsal rooms will be in for both theatres. Will be in the Everyman, which will free up the studio to be a studio again, which is great.
That'd be good, because you know, I think the Unity Theatre is the only theatre really that can, you know, help new companies or new writers. Yeah. And they've always been like that, and it's great.
Oh, it's a fantastic theatre. Graham Phillips, who's run it now for 30 years, founded it in effect, and for 30 years, has done a phenomenal job with it. And it is people can try things out, and that's the important thing. Yeah. And then we have other things. I think it's a great place for theatres, Liverpool, because you can move. I mean, you end up at the Empire maybe, or there's all grades of theatres you can go to in terms of size.
And again, I've been offered work to go onto these theatres, but then I got another option and went there instead. You know, it's, do you want to do a week at the Playhouse, or do you want to go around the world? Well, go around the world.
I think so.
You know, when else am I going to do that? So, you know, you gotta you know, take your options and think them seriously, and then, you know, try to have no regrets.
What a life. We'll obviously have to talk in a year's time to find out what does happen next year. But what is the email address if you want to get in touch, either for to be a director,
actor, or to offer me any work?
Yes.
I am a vocalist and an actor and a director and a singer. So yeah, anyway, my email address is Blaney on the Boogie.
Blaney, that's BLANEYONTHE
Yep, at hotmail.com. As in the Jackson song. Blaney and the Boogie at hotmail.com.
Tony Blaney. And his email address